Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So I was listening to More Solaris there. I love this channel. I love this long interviews with guests. Love it. Love this channel. And his guest this time was game and AI developer. So fascinating. And one question in particular, guys, was amazing. And the question was, what Intel can do better? And according to this guy, a lot of people paying close attention to Intel because Intel offers the best value for the RAM, for amount of RAM it gives. And in this guy's opinion, I didn't know. Well, I knew VRAM is very important for AI, but this guy saying, like, clearly stating that for many tasks VRAM equals performance, that VRAM is performance basically. So the more VRAM you get is like the more performance you get, and nobody offers that much as much as Intel. And he says that Intel has ability to completely disrupt the market because Nvidia does Nvidia and AMD kind of does Nvidia as well, just a little bit later and slower, you know, but tries to copy Nvidia basically. But Intel has amazing ability. And what he suggests that Intel can do is to release in the next generation GPUs with crazy amount of VRAM. Even if they charge more, like the margin will be higher, that will be nothing comparing what Nvidia does. So guys, let's take a look because this is fascinating. It's like I had an idea in my head, like blue troll coming, you know, and trolling Nvidia, like putting a wrench in the clockwork, you know, and everything just messed up and you have smoke, you know, like, yeah, like crazy. Look, Intel basically has the cheapest, the least expensive 16 gigabytes VRAM GPU, this one here. And for some tasks, this is performance, like the guys say. Like for example, you have a website, that's your idea for the business. You run Stable Diffusion and make it simple for people because Stable Diffusion itself is not very easy to use. But you provide a website that I want a cosmonaut on a horse, and you know, text to image, you get an image, yeah, and you run all your data center, like everything on the back on Intel because that's the least expensive. So not for everything you need Nvidia. Sometimes you need just a lot of VRAM for less, and Intel can run, for example, Stable Diffusion. But not only that, there's a lot of maybe other professional tasks that Intel does better, like this one here. You know, like, man, you can research where Intel does well. I've heard that Intel doing extremely well in media decoding, for example. And from what I know, Intel was planning to release professional cards. Was planning, but I don't think they do exist like on the market. I don't think you can buy them because I know they do well. We have, I don't know if it's real, but looks real, and Anton is standing next to it and he's saying that he was, you know, trying that, but we don't know if they do exist. But look, what if Intel do one of two things? Either release those cards at a very cheaply, like really cheap, almost like a gaming GPUs, but with crazy amount of VRAM, you know, plus the profits of, you know, putting more VRAM, like the higher price. But imagine they charge like $2,000 for that instead of few $1,000s that Nvidia and AMD is charging, yeah? Because at the moment, I try to check if actually can you buy that. You cannot buy, or at least Google doesn't show. Maybe you can, but I don't think so. You can only buy this one here, which is only 12 gigabytes of VRAM, and this is focused on media decoding. From what I know, I'm not an expert. If I'm wrong, you can tell me no, but I think this one is mostly about media decoding, and 12 gigabytes is not enough for AI really. But guys, let's take a look. At the moment, 4090, 24 gigabytes of VRAM, which seems like a lot, but it's not a lot for AI, but it's just bare minimum for AI from what I know. $2,000. Now the main reason why people saying the price is getting high, which is confirmed why actually, but that's maybe only one of more than one reasons. China export restrictions. So what's happened? US government says that Nvidia cannot send any more GPUs to China and like 40 other countries. And what a lot of AIB is done, they sent everything before the law came into law, before 17th of November. So everything was sent to China and maybe some other countries before that date, what created a shortage in the Western countries. But that's probably, maybe, allegedly, not the only reason. The other reason why we have a shortage of 4090s is that Nvidia allegedly, again, it's a rumor, but very, like, sounds realistic, shifted production of 4090 to H100 Hopper, the big boy data center GPUs. This is like old, look, it's from last year. But maybe Nvidia from the very beginning had very limited production, intentionally limited production, lower than the demand of 4090, because one, they have very limited production on TSMC, so they need to decide what they want to do more, but also they didn't want, and I think think the fear was like justified. They didn't want the 4090 to be used for AI, to use for data center, which is happening. Like in China, I had a video, but you had articles like Chinese businessmen remove gaming coolers and put tiny data center coolers, so you can stack a lot of 4090 next to each other. And what they can even do, they can put more VRAM on the GPUs, like the older GPUs, they can put more VRAM, which is crazy. So Nvidia definitely doesn't want that. They don't want to cannibalize the sales of the big boy super expensive GPUs. Yeah, they don't want 4090 to be used for anything other than gaming. That's a one thing, but also because of the limited production, they need to decide what to produce. And obviously they want to produce the more expensive stuff, because Jensen like leather jackets, which are not cheap. So 4090, yeah, guys. Now, professional GPUs are not just that. This is cheap, yeah? This is cheap comparing what H100 Hopper is, because this is like a baby GPU, yeah? By the way, you pay extra to get smaller cooler. That's fascinating. So you can pack more next to each other, yeah? But you get a lot of VRAM, 48 gigabytes of VRAM. But this is more important for Nvidia, yeah? Not the baby stuff here, but the big boy here. H100 Hopper, the big boy AI capable stuff. So again, going back. At the moment, Nvidia from this generation, 4080, 16 gigabytes, it's for more than $1,000. We also have 3090, but this is last generation with limited stock. But this generation, 16 gigabytes is the cheapest, is what? Over $1,000. While Intel sells the cheapest one, 16 gigabytes, for a quarter, guys. For a quarter. And as I said before, not every AI task requires Nvidia stuff. Sometimes you just need a lot of VRAM. That's the performance. So maybe what Intel can do, imagine that Intel release either, let's go back here just to show. So maybe what Intel can do is to release professional cards just a little bit more expensive than gaming GPUs, yeah, like $2,000 instead of $10,000, yeah, with 48 gigabytes of VRAM, for example, with already data center kind of tiny coolers, so you can stack a lot next to each other. Or if you want to play a little bit safer, just gaming GPUs with tons of VRAM. Guys, that would troll like Nvidia big time. And what I imagine, I don't know, maybe you're aware of that meme. You have this meme with Hitler, for this is like a meme. This is a movie that nobody's seen, but a lot of people seen the meme. And in that case, it was, a few years ago, 3 years ago, making fun of people who had 2080 Ti, and they heard the rumors of 3070 being stronger than 2080. Yeah, this happens every 2 years. But I imagine the same thing happened at Nvidia. Like somebody is informing Jensen that Intel releasing 48 gigabytes of VRAM GPU for like $2,000, and what they should do. That would be hilarious. The meme, the trolling of Intel doing that would be hilarious. It would be spectacular. And what Nvidia can do? Not much, really. Not because they don't want to cannibalize, as I said, of the professional products, yeah, the data center products, but they don't want to Intel to do as well. What they gonna do? Now, AMD is in a bit different position, because AMD tries to copy Nvidia, but they cannot really in many cases. They don't have market share, they don't have technology. So AMD can potentially stop Intel by doing the same, to lower the price, like a lot, lower the price of the professional products to match Intel, or to release gaming GPUs at even at $2,000, but with stupid amount of VRAM that kind of can be used for professional tasks. That would disrupt the market, but especially Nvidia. That would troll Nvidia like a lot. Like I imagine like somebody running the company with the hands up. It's like, wow, what Intel is doing. And somebody, had to tell Jensen the bad news. Look, Jensen, Intel release 48 gigabytes of VRAM card, and people start buying this $2,000 GPU instead of our, I don't know, $10,000, $20,000 products, like that would be hilarious. It's gonna happen. Will this gonna happen, guys? I really don't think so. I don't know. I just like this theory crafting. Just the idea itself, guys, is so funny. I don't know. Maybe it's funny just in my head, but it would be great to have this kind of competition. It would be great Intel actually getting some market share on GPU, because that would be healthy for everybody. It doesn't matter what brand you've got. You like Nvidia? That would be good for you as well, because Nvidia would have to lower the price, would have to do something to compete, to stop Intel. They cannot allow Intel to do that, because that would destroy the whole business model for Nvidia, to selling extremely overpriced products, for the margin, like 90% margin. Yeah, guys, I wanted to share with you. Yeah, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.